Okay, now it's recording, so just don't be creepy. Okay, anyways. So, back to what we were talking about. If you left, by the way, or you weren't here, we are talking about essential things that you need to know. We went to the top right of your first page. There's a box that says connect with us, and we connected to all those apps and everything like that. So that's what you missed. Not a huge thing. We just sat and played on our phones. So, but don't go tell anybody that. We studied and learned, right? Yes. So anyway, so Canvas, like I said before, everything will be on Canvas and it'll be good to go. So, class essentials. Couple things that you need to be aware of. So, first off, this is on the front page. If you want to flip to it, you can. If not, you can just listen to me. So, these are the things that we have in this class that need to be here in order for you to be successful. The most important things on this list are going to be highlighters. They're really, really good for when you're going around and you're highlighting things on your notes and you're doing different activities. Highlighters are pretty important. The single binder for this class will help you stay organized. And then if you have page dividers, 10 of them, that's how many of the different periods that there are in this class. There's 9 of them. So it'll help you to be able to organize everything into your binder. So I would suggest having that for next class. We always have the one person who it's not organized. They have papers falling out everywhere and they always lose stuff. So try to keep track of things. Okay, so disclosure. So this is your disclosure. It's also one of the first assignments you're going to do. If you want to put at the top of when it's due, this signed disclosure is going to be due August 31st. That is 1 week from Friday. So August 31st, signed disclosure. If you want to write that down, if you have a planner, if you want to throw it into your phone and make sure you remember to do it. You're getting a phone call. That's exciting. I don't know.
I turned it off.
That's okay. It seemed like it was from an unknown number. I had a student answer that one time, and it was some person that was like, your identity's been stolen, but it really wasn't. They're like, give me your social security number, and we can solve all your problems. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, it's weird.
They get pretty elaborate.
Yeah, I had a phone call last year from a guy that said he knew me really well, but he was in jail, which I didn't know anybody that was in jail. He forgot his name because he got beat up, so he didn't know his name. But if I give him $3,000, he can get out of jail. And we were apparently really close that I didn't know who he was. So, I don't know. Okay, so a couple things on this disclosure that I'm going to point out and have you star. Those are the most important things to talk about with your parents. The first thing to star, which I've already done for you, is this year's exam date, which is on the front. It is May 10th, Friday morning session. If you are one of my students who has several AP exams, you're going to want to look online at when the AP exams are. Some of them do overlap. I think this year it's computer science in one of the languages. If you're taking those, then you need to start thinking ahead now of how to be able to get an alternative testing date. Additionally, what happens every spring is we have students that are in state track meets, state tennis matches. If that is on the 10th, you're going to want to go ahead and start planning now to have an alternative date. Additionally, there are things what are called accommodations. If you don't know what an accommodation is, don't worry about it. It has nothing to do with you. You would know if you need an accommodation for a test. Those are due by February, so you need to make sure you get those in. And if you have questions about it, come talk to me. You would know if you qualify for those just by me saying the word accommodation. Okay? If you don't, then it doesn't qualify for you. Okay, other things. The test is $94. Now, $94 per test. That's one thing that a lot of people aren't aware of. So, if you're taking 5 exams, that's 5 times 94. So you need to make sure your parents know that so they can start planning ahead in terms of money. Now, if you qualify, and you would know if you qualify, they're called fee waivers. If that applies to you, you can actually have a reduction in your fees. Come talk to me and I can explain how you can qualify for that and how you can go and ask. But you would know if you qualify. So all these, if you don't know any of these words, then they don't apply to you. Okay. Other than that, at the bottom where it says suggested review book, if you will do a big star on that, or like write down, parents get me this immediately, okay? This review book is very important. This is the AMSCO review book. It's considered probably the most highly esteemed review book that AP does. Now, this book is about $30. It gives really nice chapter readings that you can be able to stay up to date on or review different topics. It gives you practice questions, practice essay questions. It's the best review book. If you've heard of like 5 Steps to a 5, or if you've heard of those kind of books, those are starting to go the wayside, and now it's AMSCO is the #1 review textbook for APUSH. So that's the one I would get. One thing is, though, is you're going to want to write down 2015 or later. You do not have to get the 2019 edition. If you want to save some money, you can get the 2015 edition. It's the exact same. There's one little difference about it, but you won't ever notice it. So you can get all those. They're the same book, and those are about $7. So if you want to save some money. And then one more thing, the 2019 edition, when you look it up on Amazon, says it is sold out. If you go to new and used, you can press that and you'll be able to find some. AMSCO sells typically around 750,000 books every year. And they're usually at the beginning of the year when everybody wants them. So just be aware of that, okay? Next, if you flip to the 3rd page, second page is kind of boring, so you can skip that. Okay, so if you look at where it says late work policy and absent work, I want you to star those. Those are very important for your parent to know and for you to know when you sign up for this class. Okay? So, late work. I will accept late work 10 percentage points per day late. So, up to 50% off, which then it becomes a 0. Okay? Now, late work is going to it's going to destroy you, or if you have no late work, it's going to give you a really good grade in this class. Students that don't do late work get A's and B's in this class. Students who always have things late are the ones that are going to start failing the class, okay? I've never had a student fail before. I've been close from late work. Please don't be my first student from APUSH because you're not turning in assignments, all right? That'd be really bad. And then it'll hold on your shoulders. Don't do that. Absent work. Absent work policy, you have 5 days to make something up once you get back. But this is really important for the absent work policy. If you're gone the day before a quiz or an exam, you are still expected to take that quiz or exam that day. Okay? All those dates are posted online as well as the lectures. So just make sure that you understand that when you get back, you still have to take quizzes and tests even if you were gone the day before. Unless you make a prior arrangement with me. I had a student last year who went to France for a month. We made some prior arrangements. Okay? All right. Other things in the disclosure, the back page, that's what your parents need to sign and you sign. Basically, this says that you understand what you're signing up for. You are signing up for a lot of lecture-based things. We're not going to be sitting there and saying, make a comic book out of what you're learning, okay? It is going to be a college-level course, which means that you are going to work hard. So make sure you understand that when you're signing up for this. One thing is we do have a section if your parent wants to help out in our class. This is all about how they can help us out. A lot of it is donations, so if they want to donate to that. Now, one thing before we move on that I think most of you will get really excited about, yay, is your textbook. Woo woo, right? Yeah? Because all of you love the textbook, right?
Yeah, that's me.
And you love reading in it and filling out reading guides and doing reading quizzes, right?
You know it. Sure.
Sure. Yeah, you guys are like, yeah, of course. So, here's the thing. I don't like textbooks either. When I went to college, I'll be honest, I didn't read them as much as I should. I don't learn from being given a 1,000-page textbook. So, if it's okay with you guys, we don't have required textbook readings in this class. We don't have required quizzes in this class based on the textbook readings. Instead, I give you other assignments instead of the textbook. Okay? The reason why is I know a lot of teachers will say, go home and read the chapter, and then I'll teach you stuff from the chapter. Isn't that kind of doing the same thing twice? Yeah. And so the one problem I have too, and the textbook is great. It's a wonderful textbook. Right? Yeah. Well, the thing is that this textbook also has problems. So, for example, 2 years ago, they had an essay question that was on women in the early 1800s. And when you look in this textbook, it was a single paragraph that you were supposed to write a 7-page paragraph essay on that was worth about 20% of your grade. Yeah, so instead, here's what I'll do for the textbook. You don't have to bring the textbook to class. Put it in your locker, leave it at home. I do have textbook readings that if you're a big textbook person, they're all going to be available online for you to download and do. Usually 5 students per class choose to do that, so that's totally up to you. You can do the textbook reading at home, but I'm going to do different assignments other than textbook reading, okay? So just be aware of that. There is a great section on whaling in New England that will never be on the AP exam, but if you want to go read about it, it's in the AP book. It's about 6 pages. So have fun with that. Anyways, does anybody understand about the textbook? Okay? It is a supplemental reading. I also have all of the reading guides for the AMSCO book. I will put those online as well if you want to be able to have reading guides for your AMSCO book once you buy it. Cool? All right, great. Some of you are all of a sudden smiling, so that's good. That's positive. Okay, hall passes. So everybody except 2 of you, sorry, you're not left out. I still like you. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. But you should have gotten a blue one. Will you make sure that your name is on it? There is a black market for these, and for some reason we've had students try to pull them from other people's backpacks or other people's binders and stuff. What's that? Oh, I thought you didn't have one too. So make sure your name is on them. Now your hall passes are for 2 reasons. Number 1, obviously it's if you need to leave. First off, check with me first, okay? Don't just leave. Now, the reason why is because if we have an emergency, I need to know where you are at. If you need to leave, the hall pass is over here. The janitors destroyed half of it. Sorry. But it used to be really pretty, but now it's just somewhat pretty. But anyways, so this is my hall pass. It sits right over here. There is a sign-out sheet. Right here, you put your name, why you're leaving, whatever it could be. Now, there is a benefit, though, from not leaving. Every hall pass equals a 10% late penalty, which means if you have an assignment that's late, you attach your hall pass to it, and you have now made up your 10% late penalty. For some of you who always turn stuff in late, or let's say you had some sort of football game that you were at, you were up to 9 or let's say not 9 or 10, maybe midnight, you forgot to do the assignment, this gives you a grace period of a day, okay? Usually students don't use these, but just so that you're aware of them. Okay? Also, last year we had one APUSH student who decided they would try to copy this and create their own to get like 9 hall passes. I do keep track of them, and also you're typically really bad at trying to create fake ones. So just be aware, don't make fake ones. Right? Okay. So, in case of emergency, over here, there's 2 things you need to be aware of. Okay, first off, if we go to a fire drill, we go over next to the giant trees. Over on this side, we go out, and there's a bunch of trees over next to the faculty parking lot, okay? Now, this bucket is going to be underneath here at all times. This is our emergency bucket. It is also called the poop bucket because it converts into a bathroom, okay? What this is if we ever have an emergency, this will save us all, okay? Reason I say that, and I'll tell this story later, is that I had one time we went to a fire drill for about 5 minutes, turned into a 4-hour drill that was a bomb threat, that we stayed outside in 0-degree weather for 4 hours in the middle of January. That caused people to have hypothermia. Hello. Sorry, dropped it. Anyways, caused people to have hypothermia. People with low blood sugar started to pass out. So this has snacks. It has ways to keep you warm, water. It has, let's say that you fall on a tree branch and you need something to be saved. Then good news, I have tourniquets in here. I have blood clotting stuff. Anything to save you. So what that means is if you get injured or anything like that, we'll keep you safe with our little poop bucket over here. So just make sure whoever walks out, grab it, because if we're outside for a long time, we're going to want the bucket. Also, if you get injured from, I don't know, falling down the stairs or something, then we'll be able to save you. Cool? Although normally it won't pop off. That's the first time I've ever had that happen. The other thing you need to be aware of is all your teachers should have seen this, or you should have seen this in one of your teachers' things. All of the teachers got it. And the reason why this is here is all the teachers, and you can see it on Miss Carlisle's as you walk out. Mine's not on there yet because I wanted to show people. My door is going to always remain locked. This will be around the doorknob, and it'll prevent it from shutting. The reason why is in case of an emergency, and we need to hurry and do a lockdown in here, we can just take this off, the door is locked, and we're now safe inside here. So that's what the purpose of that's for. The reason I point this out is please don't steal this. Last year we had a teacher start doing this, and she, I think, had it 6 times stolen from her. So please don't steal these. It is for safety and for your guys' safety. If you were here in May, we had a shelter in place that happened because there was a supposed gunman on campus. There wasn't, but we all had to shelter in place and get in the doors. This will be helpful for you when you're scared, you don't know what's going on. All we have to do is take this off and you're safe inside my classroom, okay? So please don't take these. It's special. Great? Okay. When I dropped the poop bucket, this went weird, so let me fix it real quick. Okay, I've never pressed that button before. All right, so the next thing is our art wall, which you won't be able to see right now because it's not up yet. But let's pretend that you love drawing, painting, poetry. Maybe you're really bad at it, but you're good at coloring inside lines, or something along those lines that you feel like you want to be able to express yourself through art. So what I have is last year I had students every day bringing me art projects that they were proud of that had to do with history. So what we're going to do is this entire wall up here is going to become an art gallery. I have like the letters printed out for this really cool quote. I just have to put it up there. But what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to submit art to put up onto the wall. So for example, these are from some students from last year that wanted to be able to create an art project for my class. So this student, this is the first woman astronaut in space, and this was just a really cool eagle that she wanted to draw. Now, for you guys, especially if you love art or poetry or whatever, people like to feel fancy in frames. That's just kind of the way that I've seen it. If you want to submit something, I'll take anything, no matter how bad it is. I'll tell you it looks great, and I'll put it up. I'll keep them, So, if I tell you it's good, they'll automatically think it's good, because we don't know. But even if it's not very good, I want you guys to feel special. The kid that did that drawing of the astronaut, so that was the first time he'd ever had something put up on the wall that he drew. And you can see that the quality of work was incredible. And so I want you guys to feel that same way. And so that's what the art gallery is going to be for. Now, if, on the other hand, you don't have anything artsy, whatever that you want to put up, then this wall is for you. This is a whatever wall. You can put anything on this wall. If you, let's say, have a picture of you and your friends that you like, put it up on the wall. If you make a paper airplane, put it up on the wall. Assignments that you're proud of, anything. We had a student last year that failed the test. He put it up on the wall. Whatever you guys want to put up there, that's your wall to do it on. This wall becomes really filled up, so it's just, I don't know, you guys like the idea of having stuff up where people can see it. So if you want to put stuff up there, that's totally up to you. Sound good? Okay. All right, now, I get that you guys have lives outside of school. And for you guys, a lot of that stuff is really important to you, whether it be sports, drama, just important things in your guys' lives. I want to be able to support you in any way that I can. So my rule is, if you ask me to go to something, 99% of the time I will be able to go unless I have prior plans. So if you have some sport event that you want me to go to, invite me to it. If you have the school play, invite me to it. I'll do my best effort to try to go. Usually by second quarter, I have 4 events in a week that I'm going to for students. I've gone up to Park City for skeleton racing. I went to a clogging dance class in Provo. I went and saw a kid. They stood next to a senator, and they wanted me to see it. I'll go to your stuff if you invite me to it. I want you guys to feel like whatever's in your life that's important to you is important to somebody else, so I will go. I know a lot of you guys might have parents that have never been to your sports events or anything like that before. I will be your fake parent, and I'll cheer for you, and it'll be great. So just invite me to things if you want me to. Only day I'm already booked up for a couple of days in September, so let me know. I'm going to like some orchestra thing at the U if you're a part of that. But anyways, just let me know if you want me to go to something. Yeah.
You have a game at Corner Canyon.
I know, tonight, right?
If you want to, you can.
Where's Corner Canyon?
Draper.
Oh, it's in Draper?
I'll send you my location, but
3:30, I might be able to stop by.
if you want.
I'll see if I can stop by. Okay, cool. See, now I'm booked for tonight. So don't have a plan for tonight because I'm going to go to Corner Canyon. All right, but anyways, yeah, just invite me to things. I like really cool things, and I like to support you guys. Just try to, if I say I'm going to go, try to find me afterwards because one time I went around for 2 hours for somebody and I couldn't find them and it made me sad. So just let me know. But yeah, it gives me a social life. So invite me to things and I'll come. I'll come to Corner Canyon. It's on my way home. I live out in Harriman. I have like a 45-minute commute, so I'll just stop by Draper. Okay, anyways, so student events. I'm going to put a calendar up to make it easier to keep track of it. Spring's a little bit harder because I coach, but just let me know things. Also, Saturdays are also available because I need a social life. So, just give me stuff to do. I'd rather not play, video games my whole life. So, a couple of things. We're going to go over a few words and acronyms that you're going to hear me say for the AP exam. Most students by this point will get something out to take notes on these things, especially if you're brand new to AP, so you know what some of these terms are that I'm going to be saying. Because after today, I'm going to kind of expect you to know these words. So if you don't know the words that I'm about to say, write them down so that you're aware of them, okay? Especially if you're brand new to AP, that's the essential one. Or if you haven't taken AP any histories, because all the histories are the same. Okay, so here's the thing about AP. AP loves acronyms, and they love shortening things and giving you code names for different things. So all of these are things that you're going to hear me say in class that I'm going to throw out there. I've already said it in class today, so maybe you were like, I don't know what she was saying at all. This will help you go through these, okay? So first off, we already talked about these first two. One thing I want you to note is this bottom one. While the exam isn't required, I want you to go into this class thinking, I'm going to take the exam. And the reason why is because this. You guys are going to be in this class probably the whole year. All right? I hope that you do. I hope that you don't drop. But you're going to be in it the whole year. I feel like you should feel like you're working towards something, and that's the AP exam at the end of the year. While I know the cost is high, I've had students before that have taken it and got a 1, and they don't regret taking the AP exam. Because why not try? I had a student, he sat right here, okay, very wonderful student. Really kind, super funny, and great. He never turned in anything, and he failed every exam. And yeah, he passed every single quarter with a 60%. He took the AP exam and got a 5. I don't know how. That's not to encourage you to not do homework, but you never know until you try. I've had students before that tell me every single day, I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail. They get 3s, 4s, and 5s in the AP exam. Okay? Last year, I had 114 out of 115 students take the exam. That's one student did not take the exam in my classes. And I'm always going to be a little bit bitter about it because I want you guys, I was 1 away. And I really want you guys to feel confident in yourselves. And in my opinion, she could have passed. So think about it in your head of, I'm going to take this exam. Okay? So key terminology that you are going to hear. You're going to hear the word stimulus. Stimulus is a primary source or secondary source. It's given in front of you in front of every multiple choice set. So if you see MC, that's multiple choice. And you're always going to have a stimulus. Now the stimulus is going to be where you read or observe a primary source. And then you answer a set of multiple choice questions based on that stimulus. Now, typically, you can actually answer them without reading the stimulus, which is really nice, and we'll teach you how to be successful at this. But this is what your multiple choice looks like. So if you've never taken AP before or a history before, and you're used to the idea of just having these, know that everyone is going to be reading, analyzing, understanding what this source means. The source could be in any form. It could be charts. It could be pictures. Anything along those lines of what the stimulus is. This is really the one that students do the best on. Last year they had the best scores ever for multiple choice. 55 questions, 1 minute per question. Last year they did give 5 minutes extra. I don't know if they're going to do that again or not. But this is where students tend to excel the most. Okay? Now, this is getting into those weird acronyms that I'm going to be using. Okay? SAQ stands for short answer question. A short answer question will sometimes have a stimulus and sometimes it won't. Basically to look like this. So in this case, you're comparing two historians' thoughts and you're answering questions on them. Okay? Now these, you have 2 required, and in one you get a choice between 2 different options that you have on these SAQs. Now the SAQs are really short. They're only about a paragraph long. This is typically the best essay scores that people do on the AP exam. You guys with me so far? Sure? If not, you'll get used to it. I promise. Document-based question, the DBQ. This is what students are the most scared about. If you've asked any AP student, they will probably tell you the thing that they're most scared about is the DBQ. The DBQ, you have no choice. You get 1 question. The question is put to you as a prompt, and then you have 7 documents associated with that prompt. Now, this prompt is supposed to be connected when you answer it to all these different documents. And it's one every year. It could be anything from the Revolution. Last year's was on imperialism. It could be anything along those lines you don't know until the day you get the test. Most people say that the DBQ choice determines their grade of passing or failing. Because if you know the DBQ, you're probably at least going to get a 3. If you don't, then you're going to fail. That's one of those reasons why when we say don't be late, you'll miss the DBQ question. That's truly what students feel. If they miss a day, they're going to miss the DBQ. Now, the other one that you're going to hear is what's called an LEQ. This is the long essay question. So the LEQ is going to be an option between 3 different questions on 3 different topics at 3 different time periods. So it's going to look something like these. These are a couple of the examples. And basically you just write an essay based on this prompt, based on whatever you think that the answer is. Now the LEQs are typically good for students because they get to choose what they want. So last year there was one on colonization, there was one on 1950s inventions, I don't remember what the other one was, but those are ones that students like to be able to choose, okay? So if I ever bring up any of these, that's what we're talking about, all right? So as we wrap up really quickly, a couple things about the class. So this is what I expect from you guys. When it's AP day, I know that you guys wake up really excited. And you're stoked to... what does that look for? Yeah, this is you, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Looks just like me.
Good. And then you're so excited that you don't want to wait for the bus. It's too long. So you take off to school because you want to be able to know that you're the first one there. You get stuck behind one kid that's really slow in the hallway. They're always going in front of you as you're trying to go around them, right? And then you get into class, and as we know, we're short desks, right? And so everybody's fighting over chairs because they're so excited to be here and they want the best option. And then you sit down and you're so excited because you know that A-Push is a party, right? Yeah, okay. Well, last class was like, woo! So, thank you. So anyways, this is the kind of attitude that you need to come into class with. If you come into class saying, I'm going to fail the AP exam, I'm going to fail this test, this is going to be boring today. There's parts of history that I call sludge history, where while it's important, it can be kind of boring to learn about. When you come into class, imagine if I started off today and I said, today it's going to be really boring. Are you guys going to be excited or not? Don't put your stuff away yet. You have 4 minutes. Okay? So make sure that you come excited and have a positive attitude. Last thing before you go, because you still have a homework thing that I need to explain to you, okay, is sometimes you come into class looking like this. And you're really tired and you try and you start to fall asleep. And then eventually you put your head down, which some of you did earlier, and you're dozing off, and then you're just asleep, right? I'm not responsible for the embarrassment that comes from that because typically you get Snapchatted and because you're snoring, okay, that happens every year, Don't fall asleep in class. Pay attention and be awake. Okay? All I want from you guys is to come to class and give your best effort. That's all I want from you guys. All right? So we're going to go over the homework really quick so you know what to do for next class. We're going to start curriculum next class, okay? The little white square that you have, there's one correction that I need to make to it. So these are your assignments. Number 1 is you're going to do turn it in. One thing you need to put down for turn it in, there is a password that I forgot to put down. So this is the password. Are you ready? It's REAY. It's my name. A push. APUSH. That's the password. So REAY. A push. That's the password. Yeah. No, it's all lowercase all together. So, and I will send it out on Remind as well. So, hey, really quick, listen. So you need to sign up for Turn It In. You need to do, there's an online questionnaire. This is going to help me design the class around what you guys like. And then the last thing is the disclosure. So 3 things for homework due on the 31st, all right? Okay, go ahead and put your stuff away. So are all 3 of you, 4 of you? Wow, there's a lot of soccer goals in here.
Yeah.
Are you all completing at 3:30? Because I know there's a JV game.
Yours is 5:30.
Yours is 5:30? Okay.
3:30.
Okay.
No,
What's your guys' name so I know who
I'm
you are?
Alexia.
Alexia.
Ella.
Ella.
Oh, I'm Anatone, but everybody calls me AC.
Okay. Okay, great. Who's somebody else?
You can just search quarter K in high school and then.
Yeah, I know. I'm not used to. I'm from Idaho, so I'm not used to all this. Hey, really quickly, be quiet for a hot second. I forgot to do roll, so quickly, don't leave until I call your name, okay?
Okay.
Don't leave. Once I call your name, then when the bell rings, you can go. So just wait a second. Don't panic. Okay. Anastasia, which I know you told me to go by something different. We'll talk about it next class. Sorry. Sophia? No, Sophia? Sam? Is it Sam Balls?
Sam Ball?
No? Okay. Isabella? All right. Jency? Wait, am I in the right class? No, I'm not. Okay. I was like, wow, a lot of people are absent today. Oh, here it is. Okay, sorry, don't panic. Okay, Alexia. Yep. Emma. Anatian, which you said you go by. Okay. Jacoby or Jacoby? I'm sorry, I'd probably butcher. I will get all your names next class. I'm just trying to get you guys out of here. Lillian. Here. Sam. Here. Steven. Here. Emily. Here. Kevin. Here. Dre. Here. Nathan. Here. Sam Goodson. Okay. Daniel. Here. John. Yeah. Joseph. Here. Joseph Kaufman. Here. Christian. Here. Grace. Here. Alexandra. Here. Ella. Here. Gabriel. Here. Caitlin. Gabriel Lenhart. Here. Caitlin. Here. John. No, John.
Which one? John.
Maloof.
Yeah, that's me.
Great. Kylie. Here. Other John.
What?
Other John. Here. Your other.
I'm I.
Oh, do we have 3 Johns? Okay, I guess you're all here. Aaron.
Here.
Aiden.
Here.
Eliza.
Here.
Joseph.
Here.
Sathirchi. I know I'm saying it wrong. Yes. Don't leave if I haven't called your name. Ayush. Katrina. Marie. Elena. Liza. Catherine. Abby. Shelby. Josh. Jacob. Melissa. Isabel. Gabriel. Okay, great. Thank you.
Hi, so my name is John, but I go by Holly.
Okay.
So I just wanted to ask in case
You have that email?
We didn't get hall passes. Yeah.
Yes. I'll print them out right now. I have this blue paper right here. What's up?
Do you have space in your other AP classes?
They're all at 44. So I would wait a couple of days. And then if people drop, then you can move into them. It just depends.
My name, my team's name, and then the email address.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Thank you.
What grades do you teach?
I teach 3A, 2B, and 3B. So I'll tell you, Miss Pickett's are just as full unless she's having people drop. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a mess right now. Oh, I'm still recording.